Anyway, let's try again.
Hello everyone, welcome to D Access, and your presenter for this video is Daonga Tembo. And so for this video I am going to show you how to edit your texts and also add your text to your word presentation. And aside from that, you're also going to learn how to align your texts as well as change the font color and also put in any other sort of adjustments to whatever you're typing. And so before we begin, I'm just going to note to you that it's very essential that you have properly structured the work that you want to present in order for your audience to easily follow what you are talking about. And also, just as I say in the other videos, is that you need to make your presentation appealing to the audience. You need to use flashy colors. If so, you need to put in a very good design that's going to make sure to keep your audience locked into what you are presenting, and also for them to pay attention to what you are talking about. And so if you are trying to add in your information in your PowerPoint presentation, you don't need to actually add in everything. What you have to do is properly summarize the work that you're doing, and preferably use a list or put them in point form, so that as you are explaining a certain concept, your audience will easily know what you are talking about, following the points that you have laid out for them in this PowerPoint presentation. And also, I would also advise that you have to use an inductive approach when you are displaying your work, whereas you start from a very broad concept, and as you keep on explaining, you will be getting more specific until you finish your presentation. And so I'm going to just show you, and we're going to just make a simple little presentation which will comprise of 2 slides, and just follow what I do. Okay, so if you're trying to make a presentation, first you need to know what you are talking about. And so for our presentation, I'm going to choose something that's just quirky and relatable to all of us, and we'll be able to understand what I'm talking about and what I mean by an inductive approach. So if you look at this tab here, it says click to add the title. And so you're going to click on it, and now we are going to type the title that we want. So we are going to put it in all caps, and I am going to type in my title. And so now that I have put in my title, I can even adjust the size of my work, maybe make it smaller. Let me just mark it. You first start by marking what you have typed or what you want changed, and then you can now alter the size of it. And so as you can see, we have changed the size. And if you see that this is maybe too big, you can simply adjust from these little circles that are there by the corner, in the middle, and you can just adjust according to the size how you want. Same applies to your subtitle. Just as the instructions say, click to add the subtitle. And I think we are just going to adjust this a little bit and make sure everything looks like it's in order. So we are going to start by typing that. Okay, so as you can see, if you can pay attention to where I'm going, I have actually just put a very broad concept, something that's very broad and very wide and contains a lot of things within it. So that's what I have made as my title, and now I'm just taking a chunk of it, and I'm also putting in something that's more specific, but also has a lot of content within it. So when you put this, you can end the slide here because you just put in your title and your subtitle. You cannot start putting the content. And now if you want to start putting the content, you go to your new slide and you go to your title and content slide. So the title and content slide is very important in the sense that the title is mainly the title of whatever the content is going to show. So you need to make sure you are properly phrasing your titles so that your audience can understand what you are talking about. And so for this part, I am going to say this. And just like that, I am going to now start adding in the contents for this title that is properly going to explain what I'm talking about. So I am going to start with and I will go to my next one and just type in and so now that I've put my content, even as I'm presenting, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to say that this is the title of what I'm going to start explaining. And when I get to this point here, I'm going to explain on what this point talks about and get into the details of it. And after I'm done with that, I can also go to the next point and explain it in details, as well as the third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth point. And this is how you can properly structure your work, even when you are making a presentation based on science or any other subject. You need to make sure you properly structure the work that you are doing so that your audience is able to understand. And I'm just going to end it from here because there's a lot. If I would continue with this is just going to go out of hand and I might even lose you as we learn. But this is more of like the structure that you are going to talk about. If there's anything within these points that you feel has to be put out in your PowerPoint presentation, you can simply just make another slide, get a content and title slide, and you are just going to put it there, and you're going to type in the specific title that you want. And for the content, you are going to now start explaining what the specific content about that title that you have put there. So if you want, you're going to talk about its hypnosis, and you're going to go down to its setting, and you can also talk about the cast and crew, and you can even mention the director and so on and so forth. And you can just explain on all these things, and all this content that you have to talk about has to complement the title that you have put up. And so with designing, you can simply just do the same. You can just go and use the design from my previous videos where I showed you how to design. You can pick out the already laid out designs that you feel are okay for the given presentation that you're, or for the presentation that you're giving, and you just choose from there, and that's all. So you can just pick, and that will be the theme for your, and this is how you can simply design. If you want to design it manually, you can use various shapes and coloring, and you can create